How to make meatball chili. Let's get into it. In a medium-sized bowl, combine 1 pound of ground beef with a 1/4 cup of dried seasoned breadcrumbs, 1 egg, 1 clove of minced garlic. If you can do it by hand if you prefer, but I'm using one of these. And I'm also adding a bit more garlic just because that's how I like it. Plus some of the pieces are a bit smaller. A teaspoon of chili powder. And a 1/4 teaspoon salt. Now put this aside for just 2 seconds and grab yourself a pan, or in my case I'm using a wok. You don't have to use a wok, I just am because I want to save on using utensils and equipment. Because if you're using a pan, you're going to have to transfer to a pot later, so I figured why not just start off with a pot in the first place. Put some oil or some pan spray, whatever, swirl it around, get your pan nice and greased up, then just leave that to the side of your bowl because we're going to use it in a minute. But for now, going back to your ground beef, mix everything together until well combined. When everything's combined well, you want to start forming them into about 16 balls. You can make them as big as or as small as you want, but I would suggest probably about 16 total would be fine. If you get a little bit more or a little bit less, that's fine as well. Take your meatballs and put them into your pan. Or rather, scratch that. You don't want them too big because this is supposed to be a chili, so if they're not maybe a little bit bigger than bite size, maybe 1 or 2 bites is fine, but definitely don't make them too big. Personally, I'm going to make mine a little bit on the smaller side. Definitely make sure that you give them a little bit of space so when they're cooking they don't, bump into each other, stick together, or anything like that. So actually, I ended up getting 16 just as a coincidence. I suggest sticking with 16. These actually look like a decent size. You want to cook your meatballs on a medium heat for about 7 to 8 minutes on each side until they're no longer pink. Or if they're a little bit pink, that's fine, because again, we're making a chili, so they can finish cooking in the actual chili. As long as they're mostly fully cooked, that's fine. Remove the meatballs from the pan, straining as much oil away as possible, and put them onto a plate. Pour out excess oil, we don't need this. Add your meatballs back into your pan or pot. Add 1 15-ounce can of rinsed and strained kidney beans. 1 15-ounce cans of tomato sauce. 1 cup of frozen corn. And 1 teaspoon of chili powder. Mix everything together carefully so you don't ruin your meatballs, and bring this mixture to a boil. Personally, I added a tiny little bit of water just because it seemed very thick, but be careful not to add too much because you obviously want it to be more chili consistency rather than soupy. But anyway, when your mixture is boiling, you want to put it on a medium-low heat and then let it simmer for about 10 minutes. Don't forget to stir occasionally while you're waiting for the 10 minutes. Take your chili off the heat and let it sit for about 5 minutes just to cool down a little bit. And when you're ready, serve with my nice crusty bread if you haven't seen those videos yet, and enjoy!